Hi, I'm Minister Joseph, and I'm bringing to you day 7 of our focus of fasting and prayer. And I'm going to be reading from Daniel chapter 6, verses 17 through 19 out of the New Living Translation. And it says, "A stone was brought and placed over the mouth of the den. The king sealed the stone with his own royal seal and the seals of his nobles, so that no one could rescue Daniel. Then the king returned to his palace and spent the night fasting. He refused his usual entertainment and couldn't sleep at all that night. Very early the next morning, the king got up and hurried out to the lion's den." Now, just to give you a brief synopsis of everything that's going on, this is about Daniel being thrown into the lion's den. And this situation is very interesting for a number of reasons. One, because this all started from his co-workers being haters, basically being haters of Daniel. They were threatened by him because of how much favor he had with the king. Also, he was a foreigner, not just a foreigner, but he was a captive from Israel. So as a captive, he had a higher rank and more favor with the king than the natives, and they weren't cool with that. They devised a plan that would trap him and did it in a way that King Darius wouldn't know what they were up to. The king actually liked Daniel and was a person he held in high regard because Daniel displayed godlike character. However, because of his own negligence, he got himself and mostly Daniel in trouble. Daniel was someone the king trusted because God's favor was on him. He tried to reverse the situation, but because he signed the law without thinking, he trapped himself into an irreversible situation. In the midst of this trouble, King Darius was able to encounter the living God. While Daniel was in the den of lions, King Darius fasted. Now, just to let you know, fasting does not move God in any way. But what it does, it moves us into a position to hear from God, to see God from a different perspective, and understand how he operates. In all of this, it grows our faith. I believe that King Darius had an encounter with God because in verse 16, before Daniel went into the lion's den, he says, "May your God, whom you serve so faithfully, rescue you." Then in verse 20, he calls out to Daniel and says, "Daniel, servant of the living God." Through the night, as King Darius was fasting and praying, he put himself into a position to see God in a new light as the living God. The God who reverses the irreversible. And in that time, he grew his faith in the living God and his ability to rescue Daniel from that den of lions. And so our fasting and praying is growing our faith and putting us into position to encounter the living God.